Funky drums from hell.
Hello, chat. Welcome to the Wednesday stream. How are we all doing? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Atomic, Johnny, Sajik, am I saying that right? Ninny, Red Bear, Cake. How are you all doing? Turns out the eclipse from Berserk didn't happen. You don't know that. That all happened in a very concentrated space. You know, the world's a big place. We don't know what happened. No, not for you. Not for you. I see. Individualist. Yes. Hey, Buneri, how are you doing? Welcome in. It just happened in America? Yeah, exactly. What is the spooky music? The music can be found at the links in the chat if you do !music. Yeah, sorry for being late. Obviously, I was looking at the eclipse. It was pretty funny. The spot that I found in my building was not that good because it was obviously good for 6 p.m. yesterday and 6 p.m. today and 6 p.m. many other days in the week, I'm sure of it. But then obviously as soon as 7 p.m. came round, I couldn't see it. Essentially, the spot that I had, chat, was top of the stairwell, top of the fire exit. And there's like a big window, and on the stairs, I could hold up the pinhole projector to catch the sun. Yeah, the sun was shining in through the window, and that's what it was. And obviously, I went up there today, and it was just too high up. I just couldn't lift it high enough, so I dashed out of the building. And I thought, fuck, I don't know where I'm going to go to find it. Luckily, there's some places in this city that haven't been obscured by massive, horrific, unaffordable glass towers. So there was a spot just down the road from me that had the sun on it. And it was outside this hotel, and I was there with the box. I just put the box up, and this lady just started laughing straight away. And she was going, "Oh, you've got something special ready," and I was like, "Oh, it's not that special." You know, in when I was 9, they told us how to make one of these at school for the eclipse in 1999. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I was 16. We made a different one, this, that, and the other." And then she had a kid, and a kid. I don't know where they were from in Scotland, but they were both Scottish. And the kid was, funny as hell when you're English. If a Scottish kid is just like speaking raw Scottish at you, it's just like it's very difficult to understand, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I do all right normally. I can understand most adults in it, but kids, they're just like, like he was saying some things to me, and I think that she could see my face in it because I was going like, and she went, "Oh, he said this," and I felt so embarrassed. I just kept saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, fucking English, aren't I?" And she's laughing. So, yeah, but it was fun. Like, she was, was sharing it with people and showing it and that. And, it was fun. It was good. It was good stuff. But, yeah. Yeah, just caught a bit of it. Sounds like you were talking to me. Wait, are you in Manchester right now? No, you would have known it was me. You would have said, "Hiya, it's me from the chat." No, what are you on about? You mean that you just can't, like, I wouldn't be able to understand you? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I was going to say, what are you on about? I couldn't, you would have said hi. Hey, Power of Gods there, how are you doing? Long time no see, what's up? I've been touching grass for weeks. Good for you, comrade. Great work. Jimmy, it was so cloudy here. Where are you, Buneri? You're in the States, aren't you? Mine didn't work too well, but it worked well enough. I mean, it depends. Like, you need it to be long as fuck, right? You need it to be a long box. So if you've got a short box, it doesn't work so well because it doesn't get big. Hey, Yasui Yasai, how you doing? And also B-Rat, what's up? Val, how are you doing? Johnny said, got scuppered by the cloud. You're in Ireland. Yep. Nice to see what you could see. Yep. Feel like I understand 99% of the time. It'd have to be really strong. Yeah. Chilavina, how are you? Back from some campaign door knocking. With a brief break to watch the eclipse. Let's fucking go. Great work, Val. Great fucking work. Mine was tiny. Yeah, I saw yours. You have to make it long. You can also look at the shadow of leaves because they look like a bunch of little crescents. You fucking what, pal? I did my box lengthwise because it wasn't a solid card at either end being a cracker box. Yeah, you have to put a thing, you have to put a bit of white paper. I'm unintelligible and unpalatable. Yeah, I doubt that. Leaves are natural pinhole projectors. Look at the shadows of leaves because they look like a bunch of little crescents. Google eclipse leaf crescents. The gaps between leaves act as pinhole projectors. No fucking way. Wow. What? That's mental. Let's take a look at that together, chat. Hey, Nappers, what's up? Yo. That is fucking mad. State of that.
I don't know. It could be.
Amazing.
Looks strange.
Uzumaki shit. Oh, imagine just seeing that. You'd just be like, what is happening, bro? Like, if you just... Because, you know, I would be so oblivious to the eclipse happening if it wasn't for my mum and Sophie yesterday talking to me about it. I would just be like... I'd be really sent under by that. I would be like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is all this? So yeah, there you go. Someone also put a clip in the Discord, and I didn't know what this was, so let's take a look at this. Weird fucking straight guy takes. Weird straight guy takes about bumming. Bumming, the reason that they did, the real reason that the Greek Empire did a lot of bumming is because it's top. That's why. It's fucking mint, actually. It's dead good. Yeah. And the prostate is a different version of it. It's our uterus. That's what it is. Everyone, when you're in the womb, develops. Why did it cut off? Why did you cut that off, Morrigan? Thank you, Morrigan. I remember that, but there was more to it, wasn't there? I was explaining how we're all born as women. Amy was really shocked. Yeah, she was so shocked at me talking about the prostate. Thank you for that, Morrigan. Hey, Vord, how you doing? Welcome in. Sun was out for a bit, back now. Oh, yeah. Combustible Lemon, what's up? My neighbors let me use their Eclipse glasses to see the Eclipse W neighbor. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hello, Weirdo of Oz. We were, well, I was talking about the prostate a previous time, and now I've stopped. There does need to be more news about the prostate. Yep. When will we get more prostate updates? Okay, yeah. What else can we talk about? Nothing. I've not really. I've not done anything today. I woke up pretty late and tidied the gaff. I did some sweeping. I cleaned the kitchen. I went to the gym. That's it. Made a scran. Are you pro or anti-state? Both. Most people, when they ask me my political position, I say I'm a Marxist-Leninist first, and then anything that happens afterwards. Oh, you were making a joke! Pro-state! Hard to know what's going on, really. Most of the time, for me. I thought we were about to engage in a really, really, really tedious conversation, and I'm so glad that that's not what happened. Red Bear with the gifted sub to Combustible Lemon. Enjoy rap reviewing in your emotes. Have you turned off that generative AI thing that's on Twitch now? Someone was talking about that. What is it? Can I do it while I'm live? No, I was gonna say that's not the kind of vibes you bring. I was like, what? This is odd. Enjoy your ad-free viewing in your emotes. Thank you for gifting a sub, Red Bear. Where am I looking? Settings and security and privacy. I don't have that because I'm streaming. I have to do it there, don't I? Account settings, security and privacy. Yes. Training for generative AI. Allow your channel content to train generative AI content models in Amazon. Turning this off does not opt you out of Twitch and Amazon using your channel content for other purposes described in the Twitch privacy notice, including using AI-supported Twitch features that benefit the community. Ah, see. Fun that, isn't it? Everyone loves it. Everyone loves that. I didn't get it when it came into stream, but some streams have it. What you mean the summary, the AI summary, yeah? Is that what you're on about? Yeah, it'll benefit the tech bro community, correct. If it's turned off by the streamer, it doesn't use chat. Okay, well at least it's not using chat. That's the main thing. Can you imagine AI generated chat? That would be insane. That would actually be insane. It wouldn't make any sense. Because chat already doesn't make sense. And is very horny. Val says I met with a staff member earlier to plan upcoming outreach as well. Nice. That's great. Is someone training AI on Twitch streamers? They're really trying to do the meme and make artificial unintelligence. Yes. Yes. Salam, what's up, Crescent? How are you? Is it Ramadan today? I went to the Asian supermarket and it had Ramadan stuff in. Is it just because it's coming up? No, you bigot. That's fair enough. I am. Yeah, that is what I am. That is what I am. I'm just checking. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. Is Twitch gonna unban Assmold after he quadrupled down on his twisted views or not? It's thingy, right? It's in February and it's next February. Why have they got Ramadan specials in worldwide? I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I'm only saying it because I saw Ramadan specials in worldwide. I was like, I'm certain that Ramadan was earlier in the year, which everyone is confirming now. I need to check my Islamic calendar, yeah. Donate to Islamic Relief Fund, get yourself a free calendar. I should, actually, yeah, I should. I thought Assmold's ban was just for like a couple of days. Yeah, that is what it is, Cake. Yeah, it's yeah. It's expiring stuff. It's expiring stuff. Stuff that they've had in since Ramadan that's going off. Yes, correct. Correct. That's clearly what that is. That makes so much fucking sense. It was 14 days. He made a YouTube video where he basically reaffirmed his position. It's so funny, man. He's just like, yeah, I don't even care. I think the children should be killed. Like, it's just like, what do you mean, bro? Like, what? Insane. Completely insane. He basically just repeated it. That's crazy. Hey, PvP, did you see the eclipse? I had a little look at it, yeah. Yeah. He's a repugnant piece of shit. I mean, that's offensive to repugnant pieces of shit. He's aspiring to be Bolsonaro, isn't he? He's aspiring to be the next Bolsonaro. What is it from the Warhammer? I can't remember. Nurgle? Is that the disease god or whatever? Yes, it is Nurgle, isn't it? The Nurgle. Yes. That's what he's doing. That's what's happening. What else can I tell you? Literally nothing else. Yeah, I went to Worldwide. I got white man tricked into thinking it was Ramadan. I didn't say Ramadan Mubarak to anyone in the shop, so I didn't fail in that regard. I didn't embarrass myself in public. I did. I stuck my head in a box and looked at a projection of the sun. I did, yes. I know, I would have looked like a right tit. I mean, they kind of know me in there anyway. Like, it's all the same people. They've, like, not... You know, all the staff are just, like, regulars and that. Like, the guy at the meat counter... Well, both of the guys at the meat counter are dead sound. Hello, Bubble. How you doing? He'd probably make a good horned rat. Don't talk like that about rats. What else did I do? No, that's it. Yeah, it's just I did a lot of cleaning. That's why my day's been a bit long. Horned rat is the god of the Skaven. I'm with you. I see. I see. Okay, we're gonna get into the news. I'm here for the sailing news. What, the ship update? The shipping forecast? What are you on about? Chat's proper bamboozling me today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Shipping forecast is gone? That's good. That's funny. Chat, isn't it good that we've got Andy Burnham as Prime Minister? It's so good. Take a little look at this. What's he saying here? This is him on LBC. Take a little look at this.
You have some of your best ideas when you're waiting for a sausage roll in Greggs, I remember you saying. And you might have seen as well, they've installed some robo-cops in some Greggs because of the scourge of shoplifting. I mean, that's another massive issue for the high street.
It is another massive issue for the high street. But on Greggs particularly, I'm a fan, as you've picked up.
What's your order?
I can't, it's the sausage, bean and cheese thing.
Okay.
Completely unforgivable. Completely fucking unforgivable. Absolutely dead patter. Hey, Jerry the Mouse, what's up? Welcome in. Hey, Chud Destroyer. Yeah, shoplifting discourse. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Already it's dead good.
Is that right? Or has it been? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm familiar with
Something like that. This motherfucker's never been to Greggs in his life.
it.
Yeah, okay. They do a great thing. And, yeah, they bring a lot of footfall to high streets, a lot of jobs for people. But
What do you mean a lot of jobs? How many jobs can one fucking Greggs have? Jerry the Mouse 77 says, I'm assuming you hate Trump and MAGA. No, I love Trump. He's destroying the USA. It's great. What a great guy. JD Pondon. He's my boy.
the shoplifting issue is again something that needs to be looked at.
I think you said you have some of your best ideas when you're waiting for a sausage roll in Greggs, I remember you saying. And you might have seen as well, they've installed some robo-cops in some Greggs.
Okay, that's the end of that. Alright, whatever. Who cares? Rubbish. Andy Burnham did an interview for GB News as well. Andy Burnham reveals plan to keep PC Harper killers out of prison amid grilling over U-turn. I don't know what any of this is about, chat, and I don't care. I just couldn't give a fuck. I just wanted to see him on GB News.
Early release at the moment, you've unveiled a new plan which you say could deal with the issue of early release of criminals. What is that plan?
I've heard the depth of concern felt across the country about the potential release of the killers of PC Andrew Harper, and obviously I feel for the family and the anguish that they're going through.
So the discourse surrounding this, from what I understand, is some people killed a copper and they served their sentence and they're going to be released. And now GB News are like, no, they should be tortured. They should be put in a coffin alive. And you should pour hot oil into it very slowly. Punish them even more. Yada, yada, yada. Aren't they being released early? But, early release is not necessarily, we've decided... We've decided that we're changing the sentence or whatever. This happens for all kinds of criminals. It's how the legal system works. No, you never do the full sentence. Like, the whole idea is that you go inside. This is what the state does instead of real rehabilitation. They just say, hey, you be good. As long as you're good inside, you can get out. And that's fine, because prison is punishment enough, no matter how long you're in there for. It's completely insane that people sit there and say it's a holiday camp. These people have never experienced prison. They don't know anyone who's been to prison. They don't know anything about the conditions of prison or anything like that, right? But obviously GB News and their audience want people to suffer indefinitely at the hands of the state for doing any kind of crime.
What I have done since I came into office...
The guy that was driving isn't getting early release because his conviction doesn't qualify for it. Yeah, exactly. It's all just spin, right? It's just spin to make you hate, prisoners. It's just anti-prisoner propaganda. That's all it is.
...them every single day to go further. I've not accepted it's impossible to do more. I believe there is more that can be done. So today I have asked the Justice Secretary to present a plan in early September to Parliament to go further so that we do not have to release as many people early.
Great, that's great.
That plan,
more punitive measures for prisoners. That's really good. This will only serve to hurt, people who have been institutionalized because of petty crimes that only arise due to material conditions being extremely bad.
Turning more foreign national offenders to their country of origin and looking at the injustice of IPP sentences.
Oh yeah, just deporting people for crimes.
Led to young people. Or
this
young
is so good. It's a good job he's not Starmer, isn't it, chat? It's a really good job he's not Starmer. My friend went to prison for 4 years. He recommends it for everyone for at least 6 months. I mean, this is the thing. I get where your mate's coming from, because this is what I'm saying. People really think that prison is some kind of holiday camp, and it's like, brother, there's simply so much fucking punishment that goes on in there that you just don't hear about. It's ridiculous. And or we're never getting out moment. Did I miss the goof around start of the stream? I got a silly song to share. I'll just throw it in the Discord. Yeah. Do that, PvP, yeah.
Being in prison indeterminately, and that clearly is unfair.
And also women.
Wait, hang on a minute. So what is he saying here? Led to young people. I'm looking at the injustice of IPP sentences. I mean, this is a slight salve. He's doing all these terrible policies. He's increasing these punitive measures. He's making things more authoritarian, but then throwing in a tiny little bit of like, oh, well, I'm looking at the IPP sentences, which is something that prison abolitionists and people who are critical, even prison reformists, have been campaigning for decades, right? Well, maybe not decades, but since it came in. 3 steps back, a quarter of a step forward. Yes, correct.
Which have led to young people, or young when they were imprisoned, being in prison indeterminately.
Do your best, mate.
And also women's jails too. You're looking at those too in this plan, are you?
Yes, we're going to look at all of those aspects alongside.
What are you talking about? Why? The only reason that they brought up fucking women's jails is because they want to say something about trans people. That's the only reason that this is here.
Other measures, and the proposal will be to find new ways of freeing up space within the prison system so that we do not have to release offenders early, and particularly the most serious offenders, like those involved in the killing of PC Andrew.
We've got 9 minutes of this left.
Confident that there is more that can be done.
Is it still? Oh no, there's going to be an ad, isn't there? I was right. There's like a big ad coming up. Are there 2 ads in this one?
I believe it's extremely important
No.
to build as.
But it goes to the pundits after about 5 minutes.
Around this difficult crisis.
Hey Sorka, what's up?
I'm joined now by the founder and CEO.
Chud Destroyer says, what is IPP? So, IPP sentences are essentially a form of torture. Imprisonment for public protection, right? So, it's an indeterminate sentence. So, if you get sentenced under IPP, the judge doesn't say you're going away for X years, X months, X days. Yeah? They just say you're going to prison. So, for example, Prison Reform Trust, literally, as I was saying, of course, this disproportionately targets working class people, black people, brown people, migrants, migrant women. The indeterminate sentence of imprisonment for public protection was introduced in England and Wales in 2005. It was intended for people considered dangerous, but whose offence did not merit a life sentence. In common with the life sentence, it must contain 3 elements. A minimum term that a person must spend in prison, judged to be a just desert for the crime committed. Detention in prison for a potentially unlimited period until the person can prove that they are no longer a threat to the public. And this is where this goes very badly wrong, right? Extremely badly wrong. Released back into the community on license with the potential of being returned to custody. This is essentially, right? This is essentially the same as terrorism sentencing. Yeah? These are essentially the same things that you would get if you were sentenced as a terrorist. So, like the Filton Five, who got sentenced as terrorists, or I think it's 4 of them, is it? It's not all 6 of them. It's not 5 of them. It's 4 of them, isn't it? Who got sentenced as terrorists? They all have similar sort of things in place here. Are there not folk who've been in for years for next to fuck all? Yes, correct. Closest thing we have in the US is site commitments. I mean, I hear horror stories about the US all the time. Where judges are just like, you're going away for 3 life sentences, and then fucking 20 years later they go, oh, sorry, we got it wrong, and then they get they get released. There's an Instagram page that I really fucking like. It's called something like Justice in Drawings. Yeah, parole denied over and over. Instagram. Let me just take a quick look. I can't remember if I search it on my thing, it might come up with it. Justice. No, I can't find it. But it's a really good. It does little comics of true stories about total injustices in the US prison system. But this is a huge injustice in the UK prison system, so it's kind of similar. Yeah, we got a Tally Money ad. We're gonna skip this. We're not doing an ethical react for Tally Money.
Your new plan.
What I have said is that I believe we can go much further, and I hope we can get to a position where people who have committed the serious crimes are not in the position where they are being released early, and that would include the killers of PC Andrew Harper. That is my intention. I believe we can do it, but I now have to give time to the Justice Secretary to develop that plan, put in the detail, and present it to.
Yeah, he's saying the same stuff as Starmer. Yeah.
And what is it?
We could go much further.
You said in the Telegraph last month that you had pushed to the very limits of what's possible. We heard yesterday from your spokesman in Number 10 that you
what's this paperweight saying? Hey Emily, what's up?
Manslaughter. What's changed?
Hey Krill. What's
how
Burnham's meat moment going to be? Yeah.
Don't block this.
Nothing's changed. I came into office and started pushing on this issue, and I have pushed every single day in office since then, and I've never accepted that there is nothing more that can be done. We did first exclude those charged with rape, convicted of rape, serious sexual offences against children, those convicted of offences linked.
Has he taken a single position which meaningfully differs from Starmer in any meaningfully good way? No.
Grooming. But I then said, but we also need to go further. And in my view, there is more that can be done to free up places in the prison estate, and that is what the Justice Secretary's review will look at. I do believe we should look at, particularly at the sentences.
Well, we did have that picture of him yesterday, and I can't remember where the picture came from, right? But it just was him looking dead bad. He looked like the baby from Dinosaurs. Do you remember?
That have led to young people being in prison for many, many years, the so-called IPP sentences. I know there is concern across the political spectrum about those sentences. I believe it should be possible, with political consensus, to develop a plan that leads to the lower risk offenders beginning to be released. And that will help.
Why don't you like Starmer 2.0? They went through so much trouble updating the hair colour and glasses. That's so true.
Convicted of the most serious offences, stay in prison longer and serve their full term.
And on this one, finally, what have you learned from this? You're new in office, you were told you couldn't do something, and now you say you can do it.
Dignity in ink. Thank you, Cake. Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Dignity in ink. Yep. Let me grab that. Highly recommend this Instagram page. It's depressing as fuck. You'll read some of these stories and you'll be like, oh. But if you're not already a prison abolitionist, it will make you one. Andy Burnham is the Overwatch 2 of Labour PMs. Oh, that's good. I don't know why this isn't working. Let's give it another try. Yes. No. No. Has it been banned? Can you just not get it anymore? Go to the link tree. Maybe they got like other places that you can get stuff. Keep these comics alive. No. Overwatch 2 is called Overwatch again now? That's crazy. That makes sense though. I'm glad that they did that.
Single day to go further. I don't want to see
go further
released.
We're going to go further and faster than ever before.
To the first 3 weeks that I've served as Prime Minister. And I have always worked like that. I've never taken no for an answer. Not in the past, dealing with Hillsborough and other issues, and not now when I'm facing the situation that I'm looking at now. It's always been my style. I won't give up. And I believe there is more I can do. It's my job to speak up for the public on this issue.
It's his job to speak up for the public, so let's hear what it is that he has been doing today. Now, finally, thanks to immense amounts of public pressure and also pressure from the Green Party, various different politicians, campaigners, celebrities, public figures, Andy Burnham has finally had a Cobra meeting about the drought. And this is what he's come up with. Burnham urges shops not to sell disposable barbecues over wildfire risks. Now, chat. Let me tell you something. Yeah? Let me tell you something. People have disposable barbecues all year round. Do you know what country we live in? We live on the most damp, dank, wet, diseased plague island that you've ever seen in your entire life. It rains all the fucking time. People have disposable barbecues when it's pissing it down. They have disposable barbecues all year. In winter, in autumn, yeah, when there's arguably more dead foliage around. And guess how many wildfires happen in autumn? Definitely not as many as happened over the last fucking 2 months. Yes, exactly. The only way a disposable barbecue is going to set a fire is if there's something wrong with the fucking climate. Correct, yes. Is it literally just a metal screen? It's basically, it's a, you know, like a takeaway tinfoil. So for the Yanks and the Europeans, yeah? Anyone out, well, I don't want to exclude people outside of the, you know, anyone who doesn't have the, anyone outside of Britain, yeah? For all the people outside of Britain, yeah? It's like a takeaway box, a takeaway tray, right? Tinfoil at the bottom, and it has a little thin, shitty grill that's covering some charcoal, and you put some firelighters in it. That's it. And it's a disposable barbecue. It's a chafing dish, yeah. They cost about £5. And so people buy this and a bit of meat and they go, and you know, whatever. I've used one, people use them. It's fine, right? You make a little bit of fucking a kebab or something on them, yeah? But banning these, and also he hasn't banned them. He's just urging shops not to sell them, yeah? Let's read this from the BBC. The Prime Minister said he was urging retailers big and small to adhere to voluntary guidance to suspend sales during extreme heat. Voluntary guidance. He added that in the longer term, the government should look at potentially banning the single-use grills during summer months. Also, not enough. It comes after a potential ban was discussed at an emergency COBRA meeting on the government's response to record temperatures. Let me tell you what is happening, chat. They are trying to blame everyday working people for the wildfires. That's what this has been ever since. Listen, you will know if you've been following the news like me. I know that I normally bring you the British news, and I haven't done in a while because there's been a lot going on globally, but you will know if you've been following the news, if you've been looking at your feeds and all this stuff. The Telegraph, the Mail, the standard right-wing conservative rags have been talking about this for the last 3 months, ever since the first one happened. Right? They're talking about people using disposable barbecues. Oh, it was some louts in the hills using disposable barbecues. It always comes down to the working class again and again and again. Poor people wanting to have a nice time, they did it. It's their fault. Nothing about fossil fuels, nothing about fossil fuel CEOs, nothing about reparations, nothing about... Listen, there are practical measures that you can bring in. We could establish a fire watch. It wouldn't cost a lot of money at all. It would simply be... just, you know, establish tall towers in the Peak District, wherever these fires are happening, in the New Forest, etc. Tall towers that you have staffed 24/7 during hot periods, right? They've got aircon in, you know, they've got solar panels on them to power it and all this kind of shit. You've got people sat in there looking for smoke, right? That's their job. They look for smoke 24 hours a day. Yeah? West Virginia has fire towers. Exactly. Italy has fire towers. That's what you do. You look at countries that do stuff like this, that have issues like this, and you do it, and you try and do it better. That's what you do. You know? Sorry, guys. I left one of my lights on for 5 minutes too long today. That's why the temperature was so high this week. It's our fault. Correct. Yes. RT Clearance says, I love you, Tank Tube community. I don't think I'm in that particular stream team, but hello RTE Clearance, and thank you for the 80 consecutive streams watched. Not that they will actually change anything, but I really hope he gets challenged on this in PMQs. The only thing he's going to get challenged on in PMQs is why he isn't murdering more poor people faster, you know? Faster. That's all Kemi Badenoch is gonna say, you know? This says that retailers should suspend sales once the extreme heat event has been declared as imminent or in response to reasonable evidence-based requests from local councils. Earlier, Burnham told reporters single-use grills have been behind a number of recent blazes. They wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the weather, and people should not be using them at this moment in time. We do want people to take the greatest possible care when they're out in the countryside, both in terms of cigarettes, but also those temporary barbecues we know are causing risks of fires. Cigarettes is so funny as well. Cigarettes is so funny as well. A Green MP could ask, yeah, and it would be a great day when Lindsay Hoyle decides to let one of those Green MPs actually ask that question, wouldn't it? A glass bottle's not a bigger risk. Yeah, it's almost like they haven't fucking thought about this whatsoever, isn't it? Nearly 3/4 of England and all of Wales have been officially declared in drought, creating conditions rife for fire to spread. The Met Office has issued a rare amber extreme heat warning for Thursday, with temperatures peaking to the mid to high 30s across the Midlands and southeast of England, and a high of 38 degrees possible. Chat, it was 38 degrees today. It was 38 degrees today. I was cycling past Manchester University, right? They have a little monitor that monitors the temperature and also how many cyclists go past in the cycle lane. It said it was 38 degrees. Yeah, 38 degrees. I was out at like 3 p.m. Labour MP wrote to large retailers last week in a bid to stop them selling disposable barbecues for the rest of the summer. National Farmers Union has also called on local councils to issue public space protection orders to restrict their use in public areas. Again, chat, the National Farmers Union, like, these are bourgeois business owners, right? They're simply bourgeois business owners. They're like, you need to stop the disposable barbecues. And it's like, no, monoculture farming is terrible. Capitalist farming is terrible. Actually, everything that you're about is terrible. That's the whole reason that things are the way they are in this country. That's why it is that's why this has happened in the way that it has happened. Authorities including Brighton and Hove and Field in Lancashire are among the councils to have these orders ban single-use grills in recent years. Those who defy such orders could currently be fined up to £100, a limit that is set to rise to £500 in future. So, again, chat, it is illegal for the poor. Completely illegal for the poor. I'm so glad someone has actually pointed out how backwards the NFU is. It's a glorified insurance company. Yeah, don't pay attention to any of the fucking shit. You might as well be listening to the police union. Yeah? This is exactly like the fucking police and prison guards union. It's a total fucking bourgeois, nonsense union that isn't about workers. They're not. It's like the landlord union as well. Hey, Star Spangled Shitlog. Yes, you're right. Yes, it's very similar on par with this shit. By the way, they're not mentioning anything about the fire brigade union in any of this. You know. The COBRA meeting was attended by ministers from the Department of Environment, Food, Rural Affairs, Home Office, Department for Health, as well as the Environment Agency. There's already been one COBRA meeting on heat waves this year, chaired by officials. This was the first emergency session chaired by Burnham in June. The government, under previous Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, announced that specialist firefighters will be positioned in key locations across England in response to wildfire risks. Right, again, so forces encouraged to use the government funds to upgrade equipment. Okay. I don't know, man. Build some infrastructure or something. Just what are we doing? Positioning them in key locations. Positioning them in key locations. Are you going to fund them more? Are you going to fund the fucking fire brigade more, dude? Burnham have faced calls from the Green Party to chair a COBRA meeting on the heat waves, with leader Zach Polanski accusing the Prime Minister of inaction amid threats to public health and food supplies. Speaking on Wednesday, Polanski welcomed the meeting but said it was not enough to just discuss the threats from heat. He added that recent temperatures showed the need to offer workers flexible hours to allow them to avoid the hottest part of the day. And for a legally enforced maximum temperature for workplaces, Hannah Spencer introduced a bill for this months ago. The party has previously called for more publicly accessible, cool spaces. Eric!
Don't really think the issue is disposable barbecues. We need big picture political leaders who will take us away from fossil fuels. Yeah, but have you considered that that's woke and gay? Hello, Eric. Thank you so much for the tier 1 at 5 months. Welcome in. Enjoy our reviewing and your emotes. COBRA's meant to be the top committee of government emergencies. It's such a joke that this is their only response. Politely suggested shops maybe not sell some random products. It's ridiculous. And it's more evidence, chat, that we need to take this into our own hands. If you live in an area like Manchester, like London, think about getting in touch with someone who knows how to build a big tower, right? And I know that sounds like something that is far removed from a possibility, but the ZAD in France has a big tower on it. And so if you wanted to get in touch with someone from the ZAD, I would be happy to point you in the direction of someone who could tell you how to build a big tower, yeah? So that you can look, you can establish a community fire watch, right? That's something that is possible with communities coming together to do this, yeah? Hey, Trunks, what's up? There are London millionaires that hold land and do nothing with it other than have enough sheep not to pay taxes. Correct, yes, absolutely. Fire chiefs have said that wildfires have become a recurring and growing feature of the risk our communities amid a changing climate. Crews responded to 393 wildfires across England and Wales in July, making it the busiest month on record. Great. That's great. So, no barbecues. Let's have a look at the Channel 4 report on this and see what they're saying, yeah?
Summer sun like no other. A wildfire that began on the weekend is contained after raging across a now scarred landscape.
Oh, it's fucking finished. Thank God for that.
This is a season of records in the UK. The most days over 30 degrees. In England and Wales, the driest July, and more wildfires than ever before, 950 so far this year. This afternoon, the Prime Minister convened the second Cobra of the year over extreme heat, while the Met Office issued a rare amber warning for tomorrow, with central and eastern England gearing up for mid to high 30s.
I hate this. I hate that they keep using this fucking footage of people on the beach just having a nice time, kids in the water. Like, are you taking the piss, bro?
And some areas potentially reaching 38 degrees.
There have been a significant...
They've been specifically told not to do that. It massively downplays the issue. Yeah, it's so sick. I love living in this country. I love Channel 4. I love that people are forced to pay a TV license in order to fucking fund these fucking liars.
Of excess deaths from heat this summer already. And we need to make sure that advice gets out to stay hydrated, to help people to be hydrated, so that figure doesn't rise any further.
Now you know why I've purposefully not looked at British news for a long time. Right? I can't be doing with this, man. I can't be fucking doing with this. I can't have this bod on fucking telly sat there being like, I went to political school and learned all the politics stuff, so that's why better things aren't possible. Can't be arsed. Can't be arsed. I did get a blue fella from yesterday. Thank you very much. Shout outs to my for getting at me. Fuck me, dude.
We would say to retailers, do not put disposable barbecues on sale at this moment in time. They
please don't do it.
Cause of significant fires, and there's one thing that can be done that everybody should be doing. People shouldn't be using them out in the open where there's a significant risk of fire.
Don't use them out in the open. So what, you can use them if... what does that mean, dude? What, you can use them inside your house? What are you talking about, man?
Descending just as the whole of Wales and 71% of England are in drought, with reservoirs...
Look how yellow the grass is. Absolutely nuts. I mean, this is why, like, again, I think... I can't remember who I heard say this, but I am pretty certain it was... No, I wouldn't like to say because I don't know who it was. But this person, whoever it was, said, this is proof that, settler colonialism, state imperialism, capitalist farming does not work, right? If you needed any other example that it doesn't work, and also green spaces, like so-called green spaces. I've been to multiple parks recently, cycled through them recently, and the only one that is not absolutely battered by the sun is Whitworth Park. It's one of the ones near me, and that's because they've got loads of trees in Whitworth Park. There's just tons of trees, and the trees can absorb, we talked about this last week, trees can absorb sun far better than grass. Grass just gets fried. It gets completely fucking fried. And if you don't have other crops in a field where it's just a monoculture, you have nothing to protect the soil, you have nothing to protect the other plants and all that kind of business, In Birchfields, a lot of the trees are losing their leaves as well. I mean, luckily trees will get the leaves back before autumn. That's what trees do. They jettison leaves in order to preserve, water in times of drought, right? But yeah, as you say, it's not like a permanent solution, but it just goes to show that getting rid of trees is a fucking real bad option. It's a real bad option. Every single tree that is cut down, I just think if you cut a tree down, you should just go to a gulag.
Dwindling.
That's how I'm feeling at the minute. That's how this heat makes me feel, right? That's how this, you know what I'm like, chat. I'm a fucking, anti-cop, anti-prison freak, but I don't give a fuck who you are. Cut a tree down, prison. That's how this fucking heat makes me feel.
Have come to a standstill, as authorities close locks to preserve water. Here in London, rules that require barges to move each fortnight have been relaxed.
Using the locks uses a hell of a lot of water, so it does really make sense for us. It probably should have happened a while ago. I haven't seen anything quite as dramatic as this before. It's to get us to stop moving, to actively ask us all to stay put, is a big move.
If there is no rain.
You fucking what? Been at a festival over the weekend, place was a dust bowl, and I had black snot the whole weekend. Yeah, it's because you've been sniffing that shit. Don't do drugs, kids. Nah, I'm just kidding. What? Why did you have black snot?
Some parts of the canal, they cannot refill itself. It's just impossible. Here you can see it's still okay, but the other parts of the canal, like, really low. This summer it's even hotter, so it's even more problems.
Yeah, that makes sense. The dust, I guess, yeah.
The UK, the whole of Western Europe has had the hottest June and July on
coal.
record, with huge wildfires breaking out in France and here in Spain. Climate change driven by the burning of fossil fuels means Europe is warming twice as fast as other continents.
The ground was completely dried out and it was dusty as hell. Hell yeah.
To adapt to.
No more festivals. This is the thing, chat. This is what like winds me up about people. Like even fucking leftists, yeah. Even leftists who are sat there going like, I can't believe Just Stop Oil interrupting that snooker match. Not gonna have any snooker. Not gonna have any snooker if the planet dies. Are we? Get a fucking grip, put your head on. What the fuck you want about? People are like, optics. Fucking go fuck yourself.
Farmers harvesting early, food production reduced and energy costs driven up by increased demand. This a new normal that's anything
Hell yeah,
but.
looking like a big piece of toast.
Well, joining me
Can I post a link? What's it about?
Heat Risk Commission, Emma Howard-Boyd. Emma, it's good to have you on the programme. I'm sorry that you're missing the eclipse by doing this interview with us. But also, of course, what's going on in terms of...
Soviet projects? Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And we've got another heat wave tomorrow. The fourth this season. Is this the new normal now that we have to get used to?
It's anything but normal. And I think what we all need to recognise is that with our...
The Great Plan for the Transformation of Nature, also known as Stalin's Plan for the Transformation of Nature, was proposed by Stalin in the Soviet Union in the second half of the 1940s for land development, agricultural practices, water projects to improve agriculture in the nation. Propaganda motto and catchphrase was the Great Transformation of Nature. The plan was outlined in the decree of the USSR Council of Ministers and All-Union Communist Party, the Bolshevik Central Committee, in October 20th, 1948, on the plan for planting shelter belts. Usually made up of one or more rows of trees or shrubs planted in such a manner to provide shelter from the wind, protect soil from erosion. Introduce a grassland crop rotation, construction of ponds and reservoirs to ensure high sustainable crop yield in steppe and forest steppe areas of the European USSR. Response to the widespread famine. Network of irrigation canals. Project was supposed to plant trees in a gigantic network of forest windbreaks across the steppes, similar to what had been done in northern plains of the United States in the 1930s following drought and extensive damage of the Dust Bowl years. The idea was that planting windbreaks around rivers of southern Russia and around collective farms would supposedly stop the drying winds from Central Asia. Yeah, this is how powerful trees are, right? This is how powerful trees are. I watched this interview earlier. This guy's an actual idiot. What, Matt Frey? No, Matt Frey is just a totally complicit piece of shit propaganda artist. He's a terrible prat. He's a horrible fucking stupid prat. And they all need to be held to account after the revolution. I'm being serious, deadly serious.
Climate, we're going to continue to see these extremes and them to get worse and flip-flop from heat to drought to flooding. So it's far from normal.
And just to be clear, scientifically proven, this is happening to our planet because of what we are doing, because of how we live our lives, because we're burning too many fossil fuels.
Absolutely. If you look at the heat waves of the past, they are very different.
You know about that project because an American country singer sang about it?
And scientists are working at pace to do that assurance that the heat waves are attributed to climate change. So just as important to think about how we reduce our emissions as to how we respond to these events.
You see, the thing is that I know exactly what he's going to say because I speak to my stepdad about politics often, and he's a conservative, and he just listens to mainstream news and just gets his opinion from the propaganda, network. He's going to say, but Britain produces most of its energy from green sources, so what do we need to do? We've done our bit, right? That's what he's going to say. I know what's coming. It's always the same fucking thing, and it's like, there's nothing about, transitioning to electric cars. There's nothing about changing the way that we farm. There's nothing about, factory farming, all this stuff. There's so many things that we still need to do in this country, particularly to protect ourselves. It's also about infrastructure, right? It's also about like, okay, well, the rest of the world isn't doing anything. So we need to be changing our position geopolitically. We also need to be sanctioning, right? We also need to be sanctioning various different countries that have too many emissions. We need to decouple from the United States that wants to go back to coal, right? It's all of that business. We need to demand reparations. In fact, it's not even demand. BP is a company that is registered in Britain. It's British Petroleum. Need to fucking make British Petroleum pay reparations. It's that. Another big one is we're so little, what difference can we make? And then some pish about China. Yeah, never mind that China is literally one of the biggest countries in the world that is doing the most transition into green energy.
So this is about resilience, about us living our lives in a slightly different way, but that just treats the symptoms. It doesn't actually treat the cause. We mustn't lose sight of that either.
We mustn't lose sight of that, but the current couple of days, really vital that we understand how the
China also planted a forest the size of Western Europe. Yeah, huge dubs.
To make sure that we have the right resources.
Great Green Wall stopping desertification. Yeah,
have happened this summer. We've seen health impacts. We've seen the impact on productivity. We've seen the drought impacts, and we've seen wildfires around the country. Really vital that over the next couple of days, people understand what to do, and that we've got
trees are communism. That's true, actually.
Possible.
That's true, and that's why trees are so based.
Services, ambulance, hospitals, those dealing with the critical aspects of this, then moving to the long term. What do we do to invest to make sure that we're better prepared for the next heat wave?
Indeed.
Communism.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Oh, right. He wasn't a dickhead. He wasn't that much of a dickhead. I'm surprised. Meanwhile, what is GB News criticising Andy Burnham for? Let's have a little look at this.
Village of Gronard in Flintshire, which has had a population of just 1,600. I'm going to come to you first, Matt, on this one, because, I mean, I could hear
it's Matt Badloss!
And the fear in his voice, and the fact that we...
Chat, before we get into this rot, remind yourselves that I am a streamer who needs your money to survive. This is my full-time job. Please consider donating and subscribing to make sure that I can pay my rent and my bills and all that kind of business. I don't get any other money other than this in any other aspects of my life, and I'm getting thrown off Universal Credit in October, so please consider donating. I would only ask anyone to donate £5 to the tip link if you're going to donate directly. If everybody in the stream donated £5, we'd hit the daily dono goal of £60. Super easy. We would smash the shit out of it, and it'd be done and dusted. And we have a daily dono goal, a daily sub goal of 24 subs as well, and we've already had... Is it 2 subs today? I don't know. I'm losing count. Yes, 2 subs. I had a gifted sub from Red Bear and a resub from Eric the Red. So we need another 22 subs or another 50 quid. So please consider supporting your streamer so that I can pay the rent. And I won't have to worry about it after October. If you can't afford to support me, don't worry. Head over to the promo links, Go Live link, the Go Live tweet, the Go Live post on Blue Sky. And you can like and repost those.
We have a government who keep telling us constantly they understand, they are going to tackle the problem, they're going to be relentless. And yet we have communities across the country who are being treated, I'm sorry, but with utter contempt.
What you saw with Ted there is somebody speaking for the nation. Mm-hmm. He's saying, just tell us the truth. Why is this being done?
Conveniently, this person that Matt Badloss is referring to is not part of this video. Either that's total incompetence from GB News, which is classic funny shit, or they have purposefully left it out because the person that they interviewed was an absolute fucking ghoul who was saying all kinds of insane shit about immigrants. And yes, that's what this is about, by the way.
despite what local people want? Why is this policy being imposed on us from above? What Ted is reminding...
Yeah, you know so much about politics, don't you, Matt? You won that election, didn't you, dude?
Us is that what is happening in Britain today, contrary to what people in Westminster say, is we are being subjected to an extreme policy. This is extremism. Nobody voted for this. Nobody asked for it. But already, more than 200,000 illegal migrants being imposed on our country, more than 3,000 since Andy Burnham
making these numbers up
became Prime Minister, more than 80,000 since Labour came to power in 2024. And let me just
2024.
They're not just imposing illegal migrants on this country, they are effectively replacing villages like the ones that we're reading about in the newspapers.
Brilliant. Brilliant. White replacement, great replacement. They've just all the way Nazi fucking white supremacist shit, all the way.
During the worst cost of living crisis since the Second World War, to spend billions of pounds for a policy they never asked for. When Ted says, why are they doing this? When he asks, why are they doing this?
Yeah, even if those numbers were correct, it would be a drop in the ocean because there's 70 million people in this fucking country, correct?
Let's be clear. They're doing it because they do not care about the British people. They're doing it because of something called suicidal empathy. The Labour politicians, like the Tory politicians before them, are now more...
They fucking love this shit, man. They love to be like, yeah, the Islamo-Gauchisme is only going to go one way. The left will be eaten by all the Muslims that they want to protect and shit. That's crazy because I've been pro-Muslim for a long time and I've still not been eaten by any of them. I've not been attacked by one. I've not been called a name by one. I've not, anything like that. Even when they know that I'm bisexual, which is crazy because apparently they're all rabid homophobes. You know, I am Muslim and I'm hungry. Beware. This is so true. It's so true. Suicidal empathy. Well, this is what I'm saying, Bubble. This is what they're trying to say. This is what they're trying to get across. Yeah, they're trying to get across that it is suicidal to help people like Muslims, right? It's suicidal to help people who are black. You'll even find some fucking Reform and Restore supporters saying things like sub-Saharan Africans and all that kind of shit, and they talk about IQ and all this stuff. These are just fascists. They're total fucking fascists. Yeah, it's American right-wing stuff. It's Yankification. It's Yank slop. Asmongold shit. Yeah, literally. Yeah, having humanity is too woke, and actually, it's the Israel line as well. It's the Zionist line of queers for Palestine is like chickens for KFC. Because, if you love Palestinians, they would fucking murder you for being queer and shit, right? It's all that kind of business. Suicidal empathy is so funny, bro. Like, the last time I felt under threat from literally anyone was literally a fucking group of fucking white people who were pissed up walking down the road a couple of fucking weeks ago.
Obsessed with showing empathy to illegal migrants while destroying our country from within. That is what's going on.
Dude.
They're more focused on showing empathy to illegal migrants than showing empathy to our own people like Ted, who's now having to live in a place that is going to be unrecognisable, where his family are going to feel insecure, and which is no longer going to feel like home. And it's outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous that Labour are doing this.
Danny, I don't want to see...
I'm joined now by the founder...
Yeah, another tally advert. Let's go! They just slam these fucking ads in, don't they? They just slam them the fucking...
I kind of do think that at the moment, the illegal migrants, because if they're crossing in the boats, the mega boats, the ferries as they almost are now...
The mega boats, the ferries as they almost are now. Oh, bro, this is so good. Utter rot. Utter fucking rot. Suicidal Empathy was his ChatGPT book. Is that what it's called? Okay, I'll tell you something. The only thing that comes up when you type this in, is a Gad Saad video. Yeah, you know Gad Saad, this fucking absolute freak fascist.
We'll start real.
And it's like a 50-minute speech or interview that he does. Oh, there is a book called Suicidal Empathy. I think it's by Gad Saad, though. I think it's this guy. Of all of Gad's books, including this one, are great, by Elon Musk. There you go. Yeah, it's a Gadsard book. And it's just him, like, talking about, you know, the same thing that I've just been explaining, which is that they are literally just there saying, you know, as soon as you click on a video like this, you start getting so much rot. Look at this chat. Escape the Matrix. Your phone is destroying your sense of meaning. I mean, this is good, but you know that this guy is not going to be... He's not going to be talking about it in a base leftist way. He's going to be talking about it in a fucking insane freak right-wing way. So yeah, you got Gadsard from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute YouTube channel. No less. So, you know, these talking points are straight from across the pond, entirely Yankification. Hello, Mark Hoots, by the way. Welcome in.
They are here illegally. I do feel that they are being put before the likes of Ted and his family.
Right, well, facts don't care about your feelings. End of discussion. End of discussion. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Got a lot of sympathy for Ted and
it's impossible not
the people
to,
of his
isn't it?
village.
Why?
Should have been consulted. And
Why? Why have you got sympathy about a guy with a made-up problem? Why? Utter trash. What kind of balance is this? Nonsense.
And should have been brought into...
Chat, this is me from the Nightmare Dimension.
The plan and explain what was going on, because what is happening is that people are moving out of asylum hotels and asylum hotels are being closed. Slowly, but steadily, it's happening, and I think there's going to be further...
Bad Loss's book is called Suicide of a Nation. They love to use that word suicide so much.
...developments about that soon. And everyone wanted asylum hotels.
They're going on about who they're sympathetic for, but empathy is suicidal, yes.
So that's a good thing, but obviously accommodation has to be found, and there's various strategies that Labour are using. One is repurposing army bases and RAF bases, and you can...
Here's one. Here's a great strategy. Abolish landlords. Abolish landlords. Literally just abolish landlords. Just do that. You could get rid of landlords. Seize housing, make it state-controlled. End of story. That's how you do it. Dead easy. Next.
See that that's not very popular amongst people who live near there. And then obviously moving people into rented accommodation. I think Andy Burnham's making a very good point. Everyone's got to share the burden of this.
Well, hang on. Sorry, Danny. Sorry.
Burnham's burden.
What about stopping the boats? What about actually not allowing...
What about stopping the boats?
Illegal migrants into the country?
Well, that would be the ideal thing to do. But it's a very intractable problem.
No, it isn't intractable.
This is so good. He's just like, yeah, man, we should stop the boats. And this guy's supposed to be, I don't know, not right-wing? Yes, we should stop the boats. We should stop being empathetic. You're right. We should get rid of empathy as a society. We should all be fucking utter sociopaths and just get off on people suffering, particularly people who don't look like us.
That's defeated. Minister, I remember when Priti Patel, Home Secretary, I'm sure you and others have got a huge amount of admiration for.
I'm not a Tory. Not here to defend a Tory.
She said, we're going to make the Channel crossing route unviable, is what she said. Now, they were very... that was a ridiculous statement to say because, of course, she never did make it unviable. And I do think Andy Burnham may regret saying that...
Look at his fucking face. He doesn't even know what he's disagreeing with. He's literally saying something that if he doesn't support Priti Patel, he should be agreeing with. He's saying she did not make the Channel crossing unviable. And he's there going like, it's just because he doesn't understand it. He's not listening.
He's going to eradicate the problem. I don't think you can eradicate the problem. I think you can reduce it, which is what Labour has done, to give them their credit. I don't think it's to do with the weather, by the way, which is what Chris said. I think it's probably to do with the fact that there are fewer migrants overall coming into Europe, which is probably affecting the number who are crossing.
I would agree.
Why don't we just do what they did in Australia, Danny? Australia, they stopped it in 2 weeks. Why don't we do what the Australians did?
We've got a very different situation to Australia, and it's more complex.
How so?
Sweden have done a similar...
My man is like, how so? I hate... It's like just having someone who is not invested whatsoever in a conversation with an utter fucking moron. It is so easy. Like, how so? Oh, I don't know, Matt. Maybe because Australia's on the other side of the fucking world! Easy! Different geographical location. Are you dense?
Thing though, Sweden have actually cracked down so much that they've almost seen zero migrants going into that country because they've been very, very tough. Sweden can do it. Why can't they?
I mean,
hang on a minute. What do you mean? Again, Sweden, different place. Completely different place. Harder to get to. What do you mean?
I have said before, the best thing that we could do is send people back to France as soon as they come. Within
Oh my
24 or
God,
48
dude.
hours,
Oh my God. It's just like utter, just fucking complete. It's like watching a conversation with like a bunch of they're just more fucking morons fucking everywhere.
Back to France. That route will stop. It will stop. The problem is that we can't just sort of pile people up on the French border. And
nearest place to Australia in the ocean is Timor-Leste.
Hope that they're going to welcome them back. You have to do a deal with the French. Now, there is this
We've given them £1 billion. How much more do they want?
There is a one-in, one-out deal, which at least presents a possibility for some people to go back. But look, this is a really tricky problem.
It's not a tricky problem, Danny.
And working with law enforcement.
I think the most depraved thing about Matt Badloss is that he knows that he's completely wrong and he's totally grifting. It's just such a grift, right? Because he used to be someone who was involved in like left-wing strategy. He wrote about fascism. He completely understands fascism. He understands what it is. He was doing political analysis at the University of Manchester. You know? Yeah, open an asylum claim office in France. Yes, exactly. It's dead easy. Yeah, Jupiter could do it. Why can't Sweden? Hey, Quelbs. It's funny how much fascists react whenever you ask them to think about anything for more than a qualia and a half. Yes, correct.
Agencies across Europe and other governments.
How far is that compared to the English Channel? I'm sure it's much farther than France is. Yes, it is. Yes. Timor-Leste. Let's bring it up on a map. Yeah? Let's bring it up on a map. Yeah. How did Okay. All right. 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 English Channel. There it is. Yeah. Right there. Yeah, it's very, 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 very short crossing. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's go all the way to the other side of the world. Timor-Leste. Oh, in fact, no, it's Papua New Guinea. All right, Papua New Guinea. I think it's about twice the size. Let's take. Hang on a minute. Let me just see. Yeah. Is it? Oh no, actually, it's much bigger. Hang on. It's like 5 times the size, maybe 3 to 5 times the length, the distance. Sorry, you know, and they have like a tiny. It's like, look, they have like a big peninsula on it here, where they could just put loads of fucking guards there or some shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that part of Australia even habitable? I don't know. I did a deep dive of anti-immigrant propaganda from the early 1900s. When the target was Italians migrating to the US, it's one-to-one, exactly the same narrative over and over. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they're going to replace everybody, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Blah, blah. I mean, America's got no right to talk about it because it's an entire settler colonial society, right? But Britain has less of a right to talk about it, particularly England. You know? Like England... They don't have a fucking right to talk about it because we come from a mix of Celts, Angles, Saxons, Romans, Normans. You know, if you wanna be fucking race sciencey about it, we're what they call a mongrel nation, right? You know, and so it's just like, you know, it's just such a waste of time. It's such a waste of a time of a discussion to be having, and it's so frustrating that we're just dragged in this all the time. Google Maps isn't to scale, is it, for the world map? I mean, most world maps are not to scale.
It's actually led to a situation, and you can see it now, the smugglers are having to source bigger boats because they're finding it harder to get engines and smaller vessels, so they're going for bigger boats. I'm not certain.
Nonsense. Are you about to say I'm not certain about this?
But I think some of it may be coming from China, and I wonder...
Oh, yes. Oh, the rot. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. Do you remember when it was Russia, chat? Do you remember when it was Russia? It was literally only 2 months ago that it was Russia. Yes, Russia is giving them boats. Russia is giving these migrants boats. Now it's China. Next week, it's going to be Cuba. fucking Chinese mega dinghies in the channel, bro. Fuck yeah.
What Andy Burnham's talking about is trying somehow to cut off the supply of the bigger vessels. I mean, it's a game of cat and mouse.
Like, do they understand how fucking rotted they sound? Like, their brain is rotted. Oh, they're getting Chinese mega dinghies and they're coming across the channel. What the fuck are you talking about, dog? What the fuck are you talking about? Go outside. It's just boomers who are just on the internet for so long. That's all it is. I mean, obviously, this is the propaganda network, so they're feeding the fucking the boomers this shit, the fucking slop.
And you've got
just quickly, quick final point.
The boats say "Made in China." CCP is behind it all.
Well, you're fiddling at the edges. What we need to do to solve this crisis is leave the European Convention on Human Rights.
Well,
so can I just finish? Because you've just had a fairly long speech, and I don't agree with everything you just said.
Quickly, Max Baronet.
I would like to leave the.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. I don't care about what he's about to say. He's gonna say, "I want to leave the European Court of Human Rights." I don't give a fuck about that. You're a silly bastard. You lost your election, dude. You lost your election when you said you were going to win. Embarrassing stuff. Go home. All right, chat. It's time to talk about Iran. It's the big news. It's the big one. Updates. Nothing is happening, but also something is happening. We're going to look at various different bits and pieces. You know the score. Starting in a classic fashion with oil prices. We are at $82 a barrel currently. Strait of Hormuz is still closed. No change. No real price lowering, but no real price hiring. Stock market map. 1 month performance. Tesla, Google, Meta, Apple. Most of the semiconductor sector in the toilet. Semiconductor and equipment sector in the toilet. So most stuff doing pretty bad. Most stuff that the Empire cares about doing pretty bad. Let's have a look at a week performance. Let's see the difference. Even more red. Red is the good number, right, chat? Yeah? The good number. Tiny bit of recovery from the semiconductor market, but the AI bubble is well and truly in the process of collapsing, which is good for everybody. Let's take a look at the Pentagon Pizza Index. They're apparently saying DOCON 5 fade out the lowest state of readiness, much quieter than usual for all of the pizza places around the Pentagon. Status is nothing ever happens. Real-time doomsday clock. Let's have a look at the Strait of Hormuz map. Hormuz hub. Let's take a look at this. You check this every day? Hell yeah. SpaceX has been going fully insano style this week. Absolute meme stock. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? No missiles, so don't even have to turn up to work. That's so true, actually. Yeah, that's so true. Okay. Sanctioned vessels, 49. Windward total, 0. 7-day average, 4. Arrival of ships, 7-day average, 4. That's so funny, dude. 4 ships arrived. Look at the state of these ships, man. Ships waiting to get in, ships waiting to get out. It's not happening. The straits are closed. Let's take a look at the gay bar index. Yep, looking pretty quiet. Strip joints, quieter than usual. Outside their military bases. But this could be because they are waiting for something to happen, right? This could be because they are waiting for something to happen. And that's that. Yeah? What's Trump saying? The USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel. And there's nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy, no air force. Their remaining soldiers are unpaid. The IRGC is decimated and fleeing, and their leadership is uncertain. At best, they have no money, their country is shot. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation, and getting worse, Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East no longer. Praise be to Allah. My God. My God. Yeah, he's feeling really normal about this stuff, isn't he? Let's take a look at this Al Jazeera report. Straight up almost becomes leverage in US-Iran power struggle 3 hours ago. What is this? How is this news? What do you mean? How is this news, dog? It's always been leverage. What are you talking about? Let's see what they're trying to say, chat. Let's see what they're trying to say.
The US and Iran. President Trump has posted on Truth Social saying the USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we'll keep it. Trump adds there's nothing that Iran can do about it. They have no navy, they have no air force. Their remaining soldiers are unpaid. The IRGC is decimated.
Just literally not one sentence in this truth that was correct in any way, shape, or form.
Their leadership is uncertain at best. Joining me in the studio is Abbas Aslani, who's a senior research fellow at the Tehran-based Center for Middle East Strategic Studies. Good to see you again. So, President Trump says that the US has total control of the Strait of Hormuz. How would Iran respond to that?
Well, Adrian, if the U.S. was controlling the Strait of Hormuz, there was no need for negotiations ongoing in the region. Iran is negotiating with Oman. Mediators are talking to Tehran and Washington in order to reopen the strait. And it seems that, at the time that the U.S. president is saying that they have been able to destroy Iranian military capability, we are hearing reports from the U.S. media that he tried to somehow use a different plane to depart from the region. So that's
Our TV played the Iranian president just sitting bewildered in a room giving an interview where he just goes, we don't know what he's talking about. We're used to this nonsense in the West, right? We're used to this nonsense. But there's just people who just live with logic as the main guidance in their lives. Because that's just the right way to live your life, right? Based on logic. Not too much. You need to have some emotion in there, yeah. But, these people are logically assessing the situation and going, well, he doesn't control the Strait of Hormuz, so why is he saying that? What is he talking about? It must just be so bewildering every single day.
This clearly indicates the contradictions. It seems that maybe on social media, the Strait of Hormuz is open because Trump wants to somehow calm the global energy market. And he has some reservations back in the United States domestically. So that's why he's making those remarks. But in the meantime, he previously himself said that he is going to pressure Iran economically in order to bring Tehran to the table that they want to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or reach a kind of deal that is in their own terms.
Iran says there's been no progress in reviving the interim agreement, that Washington must fulfill its commitments first. Are the two sides actually negotiating at the moment, or are they simply communicating through intermediaries? The two are very different, aren't they?
Well, I think the latter is more precise because they have been exchanging messages through mediators. And Tehran is saying that you cannot look at the Strait of Hormuz in vacuum. The context is everything. The U.S. wants to somehow compartmentalize the issues. They want to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but keep the pressure tools against Iran. But from Iranian perspective, they also want to have a sanctions relief to be able to sell oil, also see an end to the war. What Iranian top security official Mohsen Rezai said was somehow transferring the equation from reopening the Strait of Hormuz to ending the war. He said,
now, chat, don't forget, the eclipse has happened today. It is a portent of great evil. And I believe, or perhaps change. In fact, I'm talking out my ass. I don't know what I'm talking about. What does an eclipse mean spiritually? Right? Let's find out. Okay? Let's find a good... Here we go. Eclipses in mythology and culture on Wikipedia. Yeah? This is what we're going in with. Some esotericism, yeah? There was also a meteor shower as well. Yes, I learned that from the Scottish child who spoke to me earlier. It just went a bit dark here, so it might not have worked. It did happen. It did happen. Judaism. In the Talmud, solar eclipses are described as ill omens. Several events in the Hebrew Bible are said to have occurred during eclipses. That's so true. Christianity. Periodicity of lunar eclipses deduced by Neo-Babylonian astronomers in the 6th century BCE. The periodicity of solar eclipses was deduced in the 1st century by Greek astronomers who developed the Antikythera mechanism, had understood the sun, moon, and earth to be spherical celestial bodies. Whatever, nonsense. Islam. Astronomy in the medieval Islamic world was well developed. Contributions to Al-Hajjaj Ibn Yusuf Ibn Matar's translation of Ptolemy's Almagest corrected Ptolemy's method of predicting eclipses. Theologically, the Quran explicitly rejects notions of the sun and moon's divinity. Do not prostrate to the sun and moon, but prostrate to Allah who created them all. Yeah, that's true, actually. Hindu mythology. Solar and lunar eclipses, known as Sanskrit as Grahana, occur when celestial gods Rahu and Ketu swallow the sun and the moon, respectively. That is what happened. I watched it happen. Hindus generally believe that Grahana is a bad omen and is considered to be the best time to chant mantras that ward against evil. Fasting is practiced for up to 6 hours. Most, non-mainstream religions say that they're bad omens, right? The Mayans said, let's have a look. Thought by historians, there's no evidence of heliocentrism. Some scholars argue it glyphs in the Mayan code. Aztec mythology, threat to swallow it completely. There's no record. Oh, there was tumult and disorder. All were disquieted, unnerved, and frightened, weeping. Navajo people, time during an eclipse to be a sacred moment of renewal. So yeah, like the what do you call it? Like the Hujima, like the card in the tarot of death. Yeah. The Hopi people, eclipses to be a time of ceremony. You know that it's all important. Yeah, it's all important stuff. Norse mythology. Anything about like the vibes of it? Not really. West African, fond people, eclipses are seen as the two gods engaging in intercourse. This is the best one yet. I prefer this one. I think this is my religion now. Superstitious pregnancy. In some cultures, eclipses are thought to harm pregnant women and their children. It's thought to cause birthmarks and birth defects. Prevalent in Mexico and India. Pregnant women wear a pin on their shirts, carry something metal near their wombs to wear red underwear or ribbons. Interesting. Anyway, okay, so they're portents of evil, yeah? They're portents of evil, generally speaking, or change, and or death and change, yeah? Smashing the sun's prostate, that's so true. So, we are in a time of flux, we are in a time of change, and the sun is having the best orgasm of its life, right? So it could be that the tipping point has happened, and I looked at the map. The full eclipse only occurred over Greenland and Spain. Trump is going to do it. He's gonna invade. Yeah, I think something insane is going to happen at the weekend. Basically, is what I'm saying. I think that something completely insane is going to happen. Either it's going to be the invasion, or they're going to start attacking stuff. I mean, we saw yesterday a Apache helicopter flying close to Ketchum Island. It could easily have been a scout. That's if you have very, very basic understanding of military operations, one lone helicopter, heads towards the the area to scout out and see what's going on there, kind of thing. The so-called memorandum of understanding ends on Sunday, I think. Yeah, they would also see it as like, I don't know, what do you call it? A symbolic time to happen. Maybe the Berserk eclipse was slightly delayed. Well, the thing about the Berserk eclipse is that just happens to a group of people who are friends, right? And it is a huge upturning of the status quo. People are sacrificed and killed and, sexually assaulted and all this horrible stuff. Tortured, punished, eaten alive. X, Y, Z, right? And that is kind of like already happened with Trump's admin, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's fucking going down. Trump has a behelit. I just can't prove it. Correct, yes. Mr. Sweet the Sour says, eclipses harm pregnancies sort of via action at a distance, is it? I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're on about. But welcome in. The eclipse in Berserk also was a precursor to very, 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 very horrible things continuing to happen, right? He's hiding it in the nussy. That's true. Yeah, he's got it around his neck. Yeah, that's where Griffith had it, right? He had it around his neck. He just pops it in, you know? Anyway, I've done my little bit of esotericism. It was completely incoherent. I hope you enjoyed it. That's what you subscribe for. Or not. Or don't subscribe at all. Which I would encourage you to change.
That Iran will not.
I did do that, Nuclear Slayer. Hello, welcome in.
By the time that the war ends, and this
hey, McGinn, what's up?
New equation. It was mostly
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying,
you know,
Star Spangled Chitlog. He's surrounded by rapist demons, and he is also a rapist demon. He is essentially Griffith, right? He is essentially Griffith. Like, if you think about who Griffith is portrayed to be in Berserk, he is a guy who comes from... I mean, he's not exactly the same as Griffith, because Griffith did actually have to work to get to the place that he is, where he betrays all of his friends to get ahead. But, you know, he had to you know, betray all of his friends at some point in order to get ahead. He's done it to many people. He did it to Roy Cohn. He did it to loads of people, right? You know? It's not as if Griffith constantly betrayed everyone all the time. Correct, yes.
Everybody was talking about reopening the Strait of Hormuz, but today Iran wants to say that they will somehow...
He has Griffith's ideology and delusion of grandeur. I also think... I think he's worse than Griffith. Because Griffith, at least... like I said, came from humble beginnings. He wasn't a noble. He wasn't born into money or anything like that. Griffith had to do sex work to survive as like a kid, right? Yeah, Trump's not had to struggle in any way. Is there still a Berserk video part 2 in the works? In the works? No. In my head? Yes. I mean, look, you know, I'm struggling to get by with the stream at the minute. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's not looking good for the potential of that, right? Do you know what I mean?
And just merely, you know, discussing the reopening the waterway.
And you've got both Washington and Tehran claiming leverage over the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, hello, Apple Chips. Welcome in.
Strait now, less about freedom of navigation and more about who can force the other side to make a concession to bring about.
Like I sat at the computer today, right? And I thought, oh, I should make a video about Andy Burnham blaming barbecues for the heat wave, blaming barbecues for the wildfires, right? And I thought about doing it, and then I was like, no, don't be silly. I've got to stream. I've got to try and earn money today. But I just need to listen. I got a lot of stuff going on at the minute. You know, I'm helping my mate who's homeless. I'm trying to get him rehoused and stuff. And he's sofa surfing at the minute, and it's pretty fucking stressful. So that's been eating up a lot of my time. And also, Melpo was super sick last week and shit. I just need a bit more time, and then I can get on to making some more content and stuff. You know. I gotta say, a few years ago, I only believed conspiracy that had racism and those with a financial benefit, but satanic pedos. What were the reptile people saying again? I want to hear them out. Yeah. This stuff is starting to become more and more attractive, right?
That end to the war that you were talking about.
Well, it seems that both sides are discussing the reopening, but on what terms, that's a question, because for Trump, it's important to have a, let's say, victory to exit from this situation as they are approaching the midterm elections. But for Iran, it is important to have an agreement on paper and to turn these security concerns into economic opportunities, because the country has been under economic sanctions. So that's why it's important for them that in addition to settling this issue, they will benefit economically from this situation. So that's why they see it from different perspectives. So that's why we are seeing this miscommunication happening.
I value your ideas and works. I understand that many works that we do are not the visible, marketable kind. I don't really care about it being marketable anymore. I'm not interested in, you know, YouTube videos, you know, making me famous or whatever, or making me money and shit. It would be nice. You know, I know what I need to do in order to like work harder at the stream and get more people to watch the stream and stuff. And, you know, Val, thank you very much for the £3. Thank you for subbing off Twitch and supporting the stream. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. But I do want to make it. Like, it's just something that I want to make because I want to make it. You know what I mean? And I did think about the Bad Empanada video when I was thinking, I would just want to make that. I would just want to make that as well. You know what I mean? I know that it's drama, and I know I said I'd never make drama, but I do want to make it. I really want to make a video.
Reporting throughout the day here on Al Jazeera, and we'll do so again in a few moments, about renewed attacks on around the Bab al-Mandab Strait.
It's crazy the niches people get themselves into, where they used to make videos every few months to taking years at a time now. No, that's not what it is. No, they make videos every few years because they have fucking thousands of pounds on Patreon, so they don't have to fucking do anything. All they have to do is post on Patreon once every 2 months and be like, hey patrons, what's going on? And everyone goes, yeah!
In the Strait of Hormuz.
This means there's a new video coming soon!
That incidents at sea now might derail what remains of any diplomatic process, if indeed there is one.
It's like they're able to produce a much slower speed than they used to. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing as well. There are some people who like value the production quality and shit like that. Yeah, I've gone off a lot of that. I've gone off a lot of those kind of like liberal video essay channels just because they're libs. You know what I mean? And that's that essentially. Hey Bellatrix, thank you for the 100 consecutive streams watched. Appreciate you. Nice if you could get it type deal. Yeah, for real. Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, you know, I've always said if someone was able to like give me fucking 20 grand, like literally just 20 grand for a year, I would spend every single fucking day just writing a fucking movie, writing and filming a movie. You know, I would do it. I would get it done in a year. That's something that I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
While that...
What kind of movie? You wouldn't like it. It would be so up its own arse. It would get the worst reviews of all time. People would hate it. People would be like, what is this? What does it mean? First-time director, completely incomprehensible. Video-based style over substance. You know, imagine like David Lynch on acid. So like, you know, David Lynch, even though his films are like mad and creepy and weird, you know? Just imagine if there's just no, I don't know. There's just no, I don't know, just like no structure to it whatsoever. Right? Neil Breen, but bad. Me and Melp's hunt for ghosts and aliens. Oh, hell yeah.
The diplomatic process have been
I would love that, actually. Mulholland Drive, yeah, very true.
Using initially the United States to use this military threat or operations as a tactic in order
I love
to
Mulholland Drive. That's such a good film.
Extract further concessions. So
good.
Iran, you know, somehow tried to mirror this, saying that if you want to use military force, we would be doing so. But because we are...
What about a space porno flick? I mean, look, like I said, I'm going to make something that I like. Yeah? Whatever you like, that's up to you. Yeah? That's up to you. If you want me to make you a space porno flick, right? You have to pay me £20,000. I'll make it for you, but you have to pay me £20,000.
At the time of the conflict, there has been no official ceasefire being announced. We are also seeing that the United States is targeting ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran sometimes is doing so. But what is happening in the Red
You got the Blu-ray about a year ago? Yeah,
the
huge get.
Is related to
Massive
this conflict, but that is something which is related to Yemenis as well as the Saudi Arabia. But I think if the intent is there to have a
£20,000, small price to pay for a gay porno flick. Now it's changing. It's changing from person to person. Sexuality was not something that was specified in the first instance.
States this cannot derail it. But if they are seeking to,
you want a gay porno flick, that's a different. You got to pay me another £20,000. I'm gonna have to make that as well at the same time as a different one.
This could be somehow a, let's say, excuse in order to not to end up in a diplomatic off ramp. But I think it is beyond.
But if it's a tentacle alien, do we really know its gender? Again, another film. That's another film. You're gonna have to give me another 20 grand.
An incident in the Red Sea and what
I'm on 60k at the minute, chat. It's going great.
Bigger issues, which is the memorandum of understanding.
Could just be Mule licking some cheese
between the two presidents of the two countries.
Always good to talk to you, Abbas. Many thanks indeed for being with us.
Oh hell yeah. Space porno anthology series. Give him 400,000. Yeah, exactly. Hey Gobs, welcome in. Everybody, show some love to Goblin Hugger, another amazing streamer. Not Goblin Jam. Don't follow Goblin Jam. Did it wrong. It's a hot day. What if it's just one film, but it's a combination of everything everyone's said so far? Could be, yeah. Could be. All right. There's some interesting stuff that's going on as well. Drone attacks escalate on Libya's oil and power infrastructure. This is something that I have not heard of. Don't know who these drone attacks are coming from. Yeah? Interesting stuff. Let's do some learning, chat.
A drone targeted the Zawiya oil refinery on Tuesday as attacks on Libya's energy facilities appeared to be escalating. A petrol storage tank at the country's largest refinery was completely engulfed in flames. Emergency response teams worked into the night to put out the fire. The National Oil Corporation condemned the attack, adding that it was the fifth of its kind in recent days.
There have been 5 attacks on Libyan oil infrastructure in the last 5 days. I think that there is an Egyptian resistance group. I want to say that there's an Egyptian resistance group that is being extremely surreptitious because it's in Egypt. But I would not be surprised in the slightest if that was something that was happening.
Oil institutions, infrastructure and oil fields must not be involved in any conflict. This is the property of the Libyan people. Oil is the major revenue.
Stop it, dude. It is not the property of the Libyan people. You are not fucking Gaddafi, dog.
For the state. It is not in anyone's interests for these attacks to happen.
Yes, it is. It's in everyone's interests.
Hours after the fire at the refinery was extinguished, another drone hit a sub-power station in the south of Zawiya. The General Electric Company says it caused a complete power outage in many nearby areas. More than half of the plant's total 1,300 megawatts of generation.
Bro, they're just spraying water at these fucking, like... Is this not insanely dangerous?
Capacity was not.
They must have turned it off. They're just spraying water at a fucking substation.
One have helped Libyans endure months of power outages, but that's created a sharp increase in demand for diesel.
Hey, bright person.
And many people are worried more attacks on Libya's energy sites will make the situation even worse. Now,
zero information as to who it could be. Can diplomacy end the conflict in Libya? Is there going to be more information in it about this?
Can diplomacy end the conflict in Libya? The country has been divided since 2014 with rival governments in the east and west. The US and now Turkey are working on a plan to unify the warring parties.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. I'm not going to watch this whole thing. But I guess I stand corrected because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, well, Libya is just like a vassal client state after Gaddafi was killed by Obama. And, you know, there's no like, actual opposition to empire and imperialist, control in Libya. But I guess I'm wrong. I guess if there's two different governments, is it a situation similar to Yemen? But I'm not going to be spending too much time learning about that today. We'll have a look at that another time, but I'm super interested as to who could be responsible for those attacks. Let's take a look at this. Trump's war strategy facing unexpected challenges in Iran. Let's have a look at this from Al Jazeera.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump says he was secretly moved to a military flight last month after the Secret Service identified an Iranian assassination threat while he was leaving the NATO summit in Turkey.
Hell yeah.
Trump boarded Air Force One in full view of the cameras in Ankara, but was then secretly moved to a different plane.
This is so good.
Reporting from the Washington Post, the Secret Service moved Trump between planes in a catering truck. Officials, aides, and journalists remained on Air Force One for the flight to the UK, and they were unaware of the threat or the missing president.
President, can you tell us about your ride on the airport catering?
I think both of those governments control like 5 outhouses and 3 sheds combined. Yeah, like, is that what... That's what I was thinking, right? That's what I was thinking. Like, are they both puppet governments? Are they both just like foreign interest governments? McDonald's catering truck. No, it's so good, dude. This is so good. There's a Lego video about this. Hey, Suze, thank you for letting me know about that. Let me just search on explosive media real quick. The Reuters article said the plant was run by General Electric. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it's a US company, yeah. It's not that big, but it's pretty funny. It's not long. It's just him in the back of a catering truck with kebabs in Turkey, because obviously they have it's the home of the doner kebab. I like that they had the No King thing with the parking. That's pretty good. Impossible to not find it funny. Completely impossible.
Tuck in Turkey, why did you need to do that?
Well, it's only up to Secret Service. I just follow what they'd like to do. So I go by Secret Service.
Hey, Miss Sophie G.
And the military.
Saw a longer version on Instagram.
A different
They don't have a longer version on the... that might not have been the legit people. The legit people who do the thingy. I don't think it was Explosive Media Sues. No, I don't know who that was. Anyway.
equal safety, but they wanted me to do it, so I do it. I do what they say.
Why did they want you to do that?
I guess there was a threat out there. I didn't really ask them much about it. I get a lot of threats.
Okay, joining me here in the studio is Paul Musgrave. He's an associate professor of government at Georgetown University in Qatar. Thanks so much for your time. So, as we just heard in our setup, President Trump was sort of giving his version of how events unfolded. And according to reports, look, some reports suggest that Turkish officials are saying that they suspect the timing of this. They say that this is an Israeli intelligence report that was designed to derail negotiations with Iran. How likely is that, do you think?
I think there's always a possibility, certainly when you have a dramatic incident like this, something that reasserts a threat directly to the U.S. president, who, of course, has been the target of many plots over the last 10 years. You begin to wonder, but on the other hand, American reporting suggests that there were multiple lines of intelligence that led to this dramatic secret escape. We already knew that it had been somewhat embarrassing to switch Air Force Ones, but now, of course, President Trump, when I fly across the Atlantic, I try to fly in Q suites, and he was flying in a rather different carriage class. This is just something that I think is really humiliating. I think that the Americans are trying to spin this. Did I think that it had any particular impact on negotiations? No, I think that some of this has to have been baked in. I think the much bigger issue from the point of view of President Trump has simply been that American air power, American munitions, American coercion has been unable to get what he wants. And this incident probably just...
Yep, that's what it is. They got a good guy. They got a good guy on Al Jazeera, even though he's at the University of Qatar or wherever this guy's from. And that's just the case, right? He's fucked up the war. He can't win. He's completely buggered. And that's the end of it, isn't it? When I cross the Atlantic, I don't because I'm poor. Yeah, I've literally never been across the Atlantic Ocean in my entire life. In my entire life. I don't know if I ever will, man.
Just brought home, literally.
Unless it's to go to Cuba or maybe a liberated United States.
President, that this war has been a much more expensive, costly, and risky venture than he anticipated.
But here's the thing. I mean, right, you say that he hasn't been able to get what he wants, but we heard him also a little earlier kind of doubling down and saying that the Americans, they're the ones that control the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, President Trump says a lot of things. He's also said that the United States is...
You ain't coming for TwitchCon? Bro, if I get on a plane to America, they're gonna detain me at the border. They're gonna look at my fucking phone and be like, oh, you're a communist, aren't you? And I'll just be like, yes, because I'm principled and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's not happening. Also, with what dough, man, you can see literally how much money I make. Do you know how much it costs to get a fucking plane to the fucking USA? Who's paying for my ticket?
Guardian of the Strait, and it's...
Don't donate the same amount of money as the ticket, because I'm still not going. Even if someone drops 800 quid or $800 or whatever in the chat, I'm not going. I'm staying fucking here. I might go to France. I might go to the ZAD in France. You know?
Going to tax its allies as they move navigation through, and
they're even taking DNA samples. Sick. Hey, Spaceman Zador.
Developer, as somebody
yeah, man, that's so sick.
Television star. Every time he's faced an issue like this, like the bankruptcy of,
I'll buy you a ticket to Scotland. That's still hundreds of pounds. You think what? You think that's going to be £5? You think that's your regular donation that you make in the stream? That's still like £150, dude.
Trump Casino back in
you don't know what you're on about.
In New Jersey. He has always reacted.
Oh, actually, if it's a plane, it will be much cheaper. But I thought I just immediately went to... I wouldn't get a plane. I wouldn't get a plane to Scotland. That's not happening. I don't expect you to take a horse and carriage. You don't understand how fucked our trains are, bro. You don't get it. You don't get it.
In the same way, he doubles down. He tries to find his creditors, his allies in this case, to have
great bait
out of this. This is a pattern that has been going on for decades. We're just seeing it play out with somebody who is a much more determined foe.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a blessing into it. Yeah.
So, what exactly is the strategy now, both for Washington and Iran? Because it seems like it appears to be that there's some sort of stalemate, right? So, are they both just waiting to see who blinks first?
I think that's exactly how I would describe it. This is a strategy of digging.
Bro, what is happening on fucking Twitter, bro? These ads are out of control. They're completely out of fucking control. Lesser known side effects of high histamine, cold hands and feet, shrunken cock, heat intolerance, lack of morning wood, inattention, and anxiety. If you have these symptoms, try lowering histamine and see what I mean. Isn't histamine the thing you take for allergies? Antihistamines is the thing that you take for allergies. I guess histamine is it's it's the nervous, it's the immune system's response. Yeah, it's a normal immune response, right? Yeah. Itchy, brain fog, puffy, red. This image is so funny. It's just like a dwarf hitting a virus on the head with a hammer. And I don't mean like a real life little person. I mean like it's like a you know, from Lord of the Rings type dwarf, because there's no real person that has these muscles, dude, unless you're doing steroids. No, it's definitely AI. Yeah, 1000%. Like none of this is real. Insane stuff. Like who is this supposed to be? Hans Amato? See, even his real life arms don't look like that, dude. Imagine doing an AI image of yourself and being like, that's what my arms look like. And it's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. Lower allergies. Just lower your allergies, bro. Just make your allergies not happen. You know?
Most of the time when we're looking at a high stakes,
histamine's aren't that big either. That's true.
It's a game of move and counter move. It's a hugely dynamic process. We've already gone through that process in this crisis. Where we are now is both sides are using time to inflict pain on the other. The amount of time that you can sustain economic or political damage, depending on Washington or Tehran, the amount of time that you can endure that pain is a testament to how much you are willing to go to get a better deal. The Iranian hardliners don't want to back down. They don't want to appear weak, and they want to inflict maximum humiliation on President Trump, especially going into the midterms. President Trump, for his part, this is not his first crisis. He actually does understand that sometimes you can brazen through something. Sometimes, unusual things happen. And he doesn't want to give the other side the leverage that being too desperate to reach a deal would make. That being said, everybody knows that President Trump would like to get out of this, but he hasn't just walked away yet.
And if you look at what's happening within Iran itself, right, on the domestic front, I mean, there is some talk, you suggested this, there is some talk about divisions in parliament between hardliners who are considered hardliners and the foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi.
They bought a ton of generic citrazine trying to sell it to insecure men at 10,000% markup, yes. Is a lot of the US Navy still around the Strait or Iran? They're all in the same place. Hello, Sound Killer. They're all literally in the same place, which is like fucking enough miles away from Iranian missile. How's it? Iranian missile distance. I can't even think straight today. It's so hot. Did you hear about the fight on the USS Lincoln? 7 sailors were killed. That's not been verified, Susie. But I do believe it.
So what does that suggest to you? Are there genuine divisions at the top? And what does this all mean politically for Iran?
I think that in any government, at any time, you're always going to have a range of opinions over what a government should do.
I was talking about that at the end of last stream, yes.
Facing what has been since February, a literally existential crisis for them.
Unless there's been new sources today, the only people who are saying this are Press TV. And what was the other place? Wasane? I've seen lots of different stories. I mean, if you've got a link. Cradle did not report on the fight on the USS Lincoln. Cradle reported on the guy who said that there were people who tried to kill themselves. That was what we watched on the stream last night. Cradle is far more reputable. If there's a Cradle story on the fight, let's just see what stories they got on the USS Lincoln. No, the Cradle is just reported on people trying to kill themselves. I just heard about the sailors jumping. What Susie is talking about is something that came from Press TV yesterday, but again, Press TV, engages in a little bit of psychological warfare, and they aren't that much of a reliable source for that reason, right? Sadly. What if the Cradle comes out that like it was 14, actually? I mean, Press TV could be entirely correct, right? It could be entirely correct. And I hate, actually, that, I'm sat here and I'm just being like, oh, I don't agree with them because it's press TV and they engage in this psychological warfare. But they, they do. This is just the reality of it, right? This is just the reality of it. So yeah, until I see some other sources, I'm pretty skeptical that has happened. But listen, as I said last night, it's believable. Yeah, it's completely believable because of the conditions. It's on USSA news website, right? But what's the source? Again, like you could say it's from XYZ, but what's the source? Who is the source that has said this? USSA news, USS Lincoln. Tasnim News. Again, Tasnim News engages in psychological warfare. And does a bit of exaggeration. Tasnim is Iranian news. Get to conditions. Listen, you know, chat. You've just got to do a little bit of critical thinking. Yeah, you've just got to do a little bit of critical thinking. Iran and Iranian news is far more reputable and believable, and engages in real journalism than Western news. That is true. I've said this on the stream many times, but you still have to exercise critical thinking. You still have to say, who is the source for this story? Who is reporting on it? Do they have an agenda? What agenda do they have? Etc. etc. Right? This is what critical thinking is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try and cut through the shit with cut through the shit with the stream. That's what I do here on the stream. I try and get the truth. The real truth, folks. The real truth. I try and report on the truth, the real truth. That's what I'm going to give you every day. That's why you got to buy supplements at my store. Brain Rot 2000. Brain Rot 2000 makes you think real good. I'm taking it every day. I'm taking it every night. It's good for your brain. Stops the brain rot. In all seriousness, though, please consider tipping. Please consider subscribing to the stream. It's my full-time job. I don't get paid by any other means except for Universal Credit. That's UK benefits. I'm getting kicked off that in about 2 or 3 months. So please consider supporting the stream.
Depends on how well they can come through this war, and they also have the
another happy customer, Brain Rot 9000. Yeah.
What they, I think, are divided over now is the relative importance of the civilian economy and Iran's long-term strategic position. There's a group of hardliners who think that control of the Strait of Hormuz gives them a tremendous amount of leverage, honestly, maybe more than a nuclear weapon would give them. And then there's a group, including the president, Pezeshkian, and Foreign Minister Araghchi, who are more pragmatist. They also see the fact that Iran's economy is suffering. The U.S. embargo, as we've seen today, really is crimping Iran's ability to earn export currency. And that is something that is a real problem for the Iranian people. And that's why I think you've seen last week some moves by hardliners in the Iranian parliament to even impeach Foreign Minister Araghchi for engaging in negotiations with the United States, which is the whole point of having a foreign minister in the first place. So I think we've got some real domestic drama in both countries.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul Musgrave. You're an associate professor of government at Georgetown.
Okay. Chat, I am going to leave it there. It's too hot. And I was planning on doing a shorter stream today anyway, but I wanted to go live to avoid any kind of possible Twitch tax that could have happened. So thank you so much for everyone who has supported today. Appreciate that. I literally never take recommendations for streamers if I don't know them already, yeah? So... I will make an effort to watch more animated Sarah. But, yeah, you did. You tried. You did try. Yeah. But, again, I don't know her. I know that you know her, but I don't know you. I don't know your mates. I don't know all the things that you like. I don't know your wee daffy pals. Yeah? Mule is known for taking recommendations. Right, what do we got? Yeah, we're gonna go raid Larry. Larry's streaming. He's doing some Juchi Gang live. And I think he's got Lainey on the stream.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like some kind of new...
Yes. Larry's got Lainey on. It's Larry and Lainey. So we're gonna head over and raid Larry. Chat, don't forget, I got socials. Don't forget, I got a YouTube channel. Don't forget, I got all kinds of links, VOD channel, etc. You name it. Click the links. Help me out. Dr. Maggot, it's good to see you, by the way, at the end of the stream. But anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Same mule time, same mule place. Hopefully it won't be too hot. I'm going to install the Bangladeshi board again tonight. And hopefully that means it'll be less warm for me tomorrow in the streaming hours. So yes, again, thank you so much for all the subs. Thank you so much for all the donos. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for, just lurking if you've been lurking away. Check out the VOD channel if you want to catch up on streams that you've missed. And I'll be back tomorrow. Stay excellent to each other. Peace. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.